Losing a spouse is one of the most heart-wrenching experiences anyone can face. It's not just the emotional pain of grief, but also the sudden flood of decisions that come your way. During such a vulnerable time, it's easy to make choices driven by sadness, isolation, or external pressures. However, some of these decisions can result in unnecessary regrets, financial strain, or emotional setbacks that make the healing process even harder. The reality is, while grief is an intensely personal journey, there are certain decisions that require extra caution. In this video, we'll talk about 5 things you should avoid saying yes to after the loss of a spouse. Common mistakes that people often make without realizing it, only to look back and wish they had waited. These are the traps that can complicate an already challenging time. By understanding them, you can safeguard your emotional, financial, and physical well-being as you navigate through your grief. Stick with me to the end, because these insights aren't just about steering clear of mistakes. They're about helping you move forward in a way that brings clarity, dignity, and the support you truly need. Let's dive in. Number 1. Rushing into major financial decisions. A common mistake people make after losing a spouse is rushing into big financial decisions. This reaction is understandable. Suddenly, you're responsible for managing bank accounts, insurance, investments, and even decisions about your home. In the midst of grief, it might seem like making immediate decisions will bring a sense of control or stability. But the truth is, grief often clouds your judgment, and making permanent financial choices too quickly can lead to regret later on. What might seem like a sensible decision in the moment might not turn out to be the best choice in the long run. Many widows and widowers feel pressured by friends, financial advisors, or even their own urgency to sell their home, relocate, or make large investments. But the months following the loss of a spouse are more about emotional adjustment than taking financial risks. The wisest thing you can do is pause. Give yourself time to grieve and process your loss before making decisions that could impact your future for years to come. Take the case of 74-year-old Margaret. After losing her husband, she was told by multiple people that she should downsize her home immediately. The idea made sense. Less space to maintain, lower expenses, and a fresh start. So, within a few months, she sold the house they had lived in for 40 years and moved into a smaller apartment in a different town. But once the shock of loss settled, she realized she had made a decision out of panic. She missed her familiar surroundings, her neighbors, and the sense of comfort her home provided. In hindsight, she wished she had waited longer before making such a big move. Financial decisions don't just involve real estate. Many newly widowed individuals are targeted by financial predators, people who see vulnerability as an opportunity. Whether it's unsolicited investment opportunities, high-pressure sales tactics, or even well-intentioned but uninformed advice from friends, it's crucial to be cautious. If someone is urging you to sign papers, make a major withdrawal, or invest in something quickly, take a step back. The best financial decisions are rarely the ones made in a rush. Another common mistake is giving away money or assets too quickly. Grief often brings a strong desire to help others, children, grandchildren, charities, or close friends. While generosity is a wonderful thing, making large financial gifts or dividing assets prematurely can leave you in a vulnerable position later on. What seems manageable in the moment might not be sustainable in the years ahead. Before making any major financial moves, it's best to consult with a trusted professional who understands your long-term needs and can help you plan wisely. The first year after losing a spouse should be about stabilization, not drastic financial changes. Experts often recommend the 1-year rule, which suggests waiting at least a year before making any irreversible financial decisions. This allows time for the initial emotional shock to pass and for you to think clearly about what's truly best for your future. Losing a spouse is already one of life's most difficult transitions. The last thing you need is added stress from financial missteps that could have been avoided. Take your time, seek trusted guidance, and remember, there's no rush. The best decisions are made with clarity, not grief. Number 2. Isolating yourself from friends and family. After losing a spouse, it's natural to want time alone. Grief is deeply personal, and sometimes solitude feels like the only way to process the pain. But while taking moments to yourself is important, completely shutting out friends and family can lead to an even deeper sense of loneliness, one that makes healing harder. Many people fall into the habit of withdrawing, telling themselves they just need more time. But the truth is, isolation can quickly turn into a pattern that's difficult to break. Human connection plays a crucial role in emotional well-being, especially during times of loss. When people distance themselves for too long, they often experience increased feelings of sadness, anxiety, and even physical health decline. Studies have shown that prolonged social isolation can weaken the immune system, increase blood pressure, and even shorten lifespan. In contrast, staying connected, even in small ways, can help ease the emotional burden and provide a much-needed sense of support. Take the case of 78-year-old Walter. When his wife of 52 years passed away, he stopped answering phone calls, skipped family gatherings, and rarely left the house. He told himself he just wasn't in the mood to talk, that people wouldn't understand his grief, and that being alone was easier. Months passed, and instead of feeling better, he felt worse. His days blurred together, his energy dropped, and even his appetite changed. It wasn't until a neighbor insisted he come over for coffee that something shifted. That one conversation turned into a weekly habit, then a small routine of meeting up with friends. The more he engaged, the lighter he felt, not because the pain disappeared, but because he realized he wasn't alone in caring. The key isn't to force yourself into big social situations before you're ready. It's about taking small steps to stay connected. Whether it's answering a phone call, going for a short walk with a friend, or even joining a support group, these little actions can help keep you from slipping into deep loneliness. If you don't feel like talking, that's okay. Simply being around people, even if it's just listening to a conversation, can help remind you that life continues and that support is available when you need it. Another mistake many people make is pushing away those who care the most. Sometimes grief brings irritability, exhaustion, or a sense that others just don't understand what you're going through. But shutting people out completely can create unnecessary distance between you and those who genuinely want to help. Your loved ones may not have the perfect words, but their presence alone can make a difference. Letting them in, bit by bit, can provide comfort even when words aren't enough. It's also important to seek support from those who understand your experience. Connecting with others who have been through similar loss, whether through a grief support group, a community gathering, or even an online forum, can be incredibly healing. Speaking with people who truly understand what you're going through can validate your feelings and provide reassurance that you're not alone. Grief doesn't follow a schedule, and there's no right way to heal, but staying completely isolated only makes the journey harder. Finding small ways to reconnect with others at your own pace can provide strength, support, and even moments of unexpected joy. Remember, you don't have to carry the weight of loss alone. There are people who care, who want to be there for you, and who can help you move forward one step at a time. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Ignoring your own health and well-being. When a spouse passes away, many people find themselves so consumed by grief that they stop paying attention to their own health. It's easy to put off doctor's appointments, skip meals, or let daily routine slip when you're dealing with loss. Some people even feel guilty about taking care of themselves, as if prioritizing their health somehow diminishes the depth of their love or grief. But the reality is, neglecting your well-being doesn't bring you closer to the one you lost. It only makes your journey forward harder. Grief affects the body in ways many people don't realize. Studies show that losing a spouse increases the risk of heart problems, weakened immune function, and even cognitive decline. The stress of grief can lead to high blood pressure, disrupted sleep, and changes in appetite. Some people lose interest in eating, while others turn to unhealthy comfort foods. Over time, these changes can take a serious toll on both physical and mental health. The key is not to expect yourself to feel normal overnight, but to make small choices that help your body stay strong as you navigate this difficult time. Take the case of 81-year-old James. After his wife passed, he stopped cooking meals for himself. He told himself he just wasn't hungry, and when he did eat, it was usually something quick and processed. Within a few months, he started feeling weaker, had trouble sleeping, and felt constantly fatigued. His daughter noticed the change and encouraged him to start eating regular meals again, even if he didn't have an appetite. Once he made small adjustments, like preparing simple, nutritious foods and drinking more water, he found that his energy levels improved, his mood stabilized, and he was better equipped to handle the emotions that came with grief. Self-care goes beyond just nourishing your body with food. It also includes taking care of your physical activity, sleep, and emotional health. After losing a spouse, many people stop exercising, not because they don't want to stay active, but because they no longer have a partner to do it with. However, staying physically active, even if it's just a brief walk every day, has been proven to lower stress, lift your mood, and even improve longevity. For some, joining a walking group or exercise class can provide the added benefit of both physical health and valuable social interaction. Another mistake people often make is neglecting their medical checkups. In the midst of grief, it's easy to skip doctor visits or delay medical care because everything feels overwhelming. But taking care of your health is especially crucial at this time. If it's been a while since your last appointment, make one now. Staying on top of your health through regular checkups, managing chronic conditions, and keeping up with prescriptions can make a significant difference in how you feel both physically and emotionally. Mental health is just as important as physical health, yet it's often overlooked. Grief can contribute to feelings of depression, anxiety, and hopelessness, especially when compounded by isolation. If you're struggling, don't hesitate to ask for help. Speaking with a counselor, joining a grief support group, or even confiding in a trusted friend can provide comfort and reassurance. Seeking support is not a sign of weakness, it's an essential step toward healing. Your spouse would have wanted you to take care of yourself. Honoring their memory doesn't mean sacrificing your own well-being. It means continuing to live in a way that allows you to find peace, strength, and moments of joy. It's okay to grieve and to take time to heal, but don't forget that your health still matters. You are still here, and you deserve to protect your well-being. Number 4, rushing into a new relationship. When you lose a spouse, there's often an emotional void that can feel impossible to fill. The loneliness that follows can be one of the most difficult aspects of grief, and the thought of finding companionship again may seem like the only way to cope. While there's nothing wrong with wanting connection, one of the most common mistakes widows and widowers make is jumping into a new relationship before fully processing their grief. The emotions tied to loss can create a deep desire for comfort, but rushing into a romantic relationship too soon can lead to more heartache, confusion, and regrets. Grief doesn't have a set timeline, and everyone heals at their own pace. Some people take years before they're ready to date again, while others feel ready sooner. But when emotions are raw, the risk of entering into a relationship for the wrong reasons is high. Many people unknowingly look for a partner, not because they are truly ready, but because they are trying to replace what was lost, avoid loneliness, or escape their pain. These types of relationships often start off strong, but lack the stability needed for long-term fulfillment. Take 72-year-old Barbara, for example. Just a few months after losing her husband of nearly 50 years, she met someone through a friend and quickly entered a new relationship. At first, it seemed like the companionship she desperately needed, someone to talk to, share meals with, and distract her from the overwhelming loneliness. However, over time, she realized she wasn't truly ready. The relationship progressed faster than she expected, and soon she felt trapped in something that didn't feel right. Eventually, she took a step back and took time for herself, but in hindsight, she wished she had given herself more time before making such a significant decision. A new relationship should be based on genuine connection, not just emotional relief. After spending decades with a spouse, the routines, habits, and shared memories are deeply ingrained. Jumping into a new relationship before processing that loss can result in unfair comparisons, unrealistic expectations, and guilt. Some widows and widowers even feel torn between wanting to move forward and fearing that doing so would mean betraying the person they lost. These are natural feelings, but they need to be addressed and worked through before entering a new relationship. There's also the risk of being vulnerable to those with less than honorable intentions. Sadly, some people take advantage of grieving individuals, offering emotional support in an effort to manipulate or exploit them, financially or otherwise. Scammers and even well-meaning, opportunistic individuals often target grieving seniors, knowing they might be emotionally fragile and in need of companionship. This is why it's essential to trust your instincts and take your time. If anyone is pressuring you to commit quickly, make financial decisions, or distance yourself from friends and family, these are warning signs you shouldn't ignore. This doesn't mean avoiding love or companionship forever. Many widows and widowers do go on to find meaningful relationships later in life. However, the most fulfilling and healthy relationships come when both people are truly ready, when the decision is made from a place of healing, not desperation. Time and reflection are crucial. Taking the time to process your grief, rediscover your personal identity, and find peace in being alone will make a world of difference. If you do decide to date again, take it slow. Understand what you truly want in a relationship and ensure you're entering it for the right reasons. Discuss your feelings with trusted friends or family members and don't feel pressured by anyone's opinion, whether they think it's too soon or that you shouldn't be alone. Ultimately, the choice is yours, and only you can decide when you're ready. At the end of the day, grief and healing are deeply personal journeys. There is no rush, no deadline, and no rule book. The most important thing is to take care of yourself first so that if and when the time comes, any new relationship you enter is built on a foundation of strength, peace, and true companionship. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Holding on to every possession without letting go. One of the hardest things to do after losing a spouse is deciding what to do with their belongings. Every item holds memories, and the thought of letting go can feel like losing them all over again. Many widows and widowers struggle with this, keeping every piece of clothing, every personal belonging, and every small item exactly as it was, afraid that moving or changing anything means erasing the life they shared. But while it's understandable to hold on, keeping everything indefinitely can sometimes make grief even heavier, preventing emotional healing and the ability to move forward. Holding on to some sentimental items is completely natural. There's no rule that says you have to get rid of everything, but keeping an entire home untouched for years, leaving their closet exactly as it was, or avoiding making any changes can turn a house into a shrine of grief rather than a place of comfort. Over time, instead of bringing peace, it can serve as a daily reminder of what has been lost, making it harder to adjust to a new chapter of life. Take the case of 76-year-old Harold. After his wife of 55 years passed, he left everything exactly as she had. Her shoes stayed by the door, her clothes remained in the closet, and her favorite chair was left untouched. At first it felt like a way to keep her close, but as the months passed, he realized that walking past her untouched belongings every day was keeping him stuck in the same place emotionally. He wasn't ready to get rid of everything, but when he slowly started donating some items, keeping only a few meaningful ones, he felt a sense of relief. It wasn't about forgetting, it was about making room for healing. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or loving less. It means allowing yourself space to breathe. Instead of forcing yourself to make sudden changes, start small. Choose a few meaningful keepsakes, a piece of jewelry, a handwritten note, a favorite photo, and create a special space for them. Then, when you feel ready, begin sorting through other belongings, deciding what truly holds meaning and what is simply taking up space. Another mistake people make is feeling pressured by others to get rid of things before they're ready. Friends or family members may mean well, suggesting that you should clear things out or move on, but this decision should always be made on your own timeline. If you're not ready, don't rush it. At the same time, be mindful that holding on to everything out of guilt or fear may be keeping you in a place of sadness longer than necessary. There is also an emotional balance in repurposing rather than just removing. Some people find comfort in turning an old shirt into a quilt, transforming a collection of letters into a memory book, or passing down sentimental items to loved ones who will cherish them. This way, their presence remains, but in a way that brings warmth instead of just sorrow. Ultimately, grief is not about things. It's about love, memories, and the bond you shared. No object can replace a person, but clinging to everything they owned won't bring them back either. Letting go in small and thoughtful ways is not an act of forgetting. It's a step toward honoring their memory while also making space for your own healing. Moving forward doesn't mean moving away from them. It simply means carrying them with you in a way that allows both love and life to coexist. Final thoughts. Losing a spouse is one of life's most profound and painful experiences. It changes everything, the way you live, the way you think, and even the way you see the future. But in the midst of grief, it's important to remember that every decision you make during this time has the power to either help or hinder your healing. Saying no to these 5 things, making rushed financial decisions, isolating yourself, neglecting your health, jumping into a new relationship too soon, and holding on to everything without allowing any change can truly impact your ability to heal and move forward with strength and clarity. Grief doesn't come with a set timeline, and there's no right or wrong way to process it. However, one thing is clear. By avoiding these common mistakes, you can navigate this challenging chapter in a way that protects both your heart and your future. Healing isn't about forgetting, and moving forward doesn't mean leaving your spouse behind. It's about finding a way to honor their memory while continuing to live with purpose, peace, and even joy in the moments ahead. We'd love to hear what resonated with you the most. Which of these insights do you think is most important for your own journey? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot to us, so don't hesitate to share. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for being here.